Lionel Messi just scored his first ever World Cup hat trick. He tied the all-time scoring record at this tournament. He produced a performance that will be replayed for decades. And right now, almost nobody in the football world is talking about any of that. They are talking about a moment in the first half that the cameras caught from 6 different angles, that VAR actually reviewed, and that somehow, against all logic and against the explanation of nearly every analyst watching live, resulted in absolutely nothing. Not a yellow card, not a red card, nothing at all. Algeria's defender was left on the ground in visible pain. The referee waved play on, and the football world erupted. This is the story of the incident that has split the 2026 World Cup down the middle, and the question that millions of fans are now asking out loud: was this a genuine refereeing mistake, or is this tournament already showing the world exactly who it protects and who it does not? Let us walk through exactly what happened, because the details matter here more than they usually do. In the first half of Argentina's opening match against Algeria in Kansas City, with the score still level at 0, Messi went into a contest for the ball and lost his footing. What followed was a challenge from behind on Algerian defender Issa Mondi, with Messi's studs making contact with the back of Mondi's calf. Mondi went down immediately in obvious discomfort, while Algerian players surrounded the referee demanding a card. Polish official Szymon Marciniak, the same man who took charge of the 2022 World Cup final between Argentina and France, awarded only a free kick. No caution, no card of any kind. If you want to follow every twist of this story as it develops, subscribe to the channel right now and turn on notifications, because what happened next is where this controversy genuinely takes off. VAR did get involved. The video assistant referee initiated a review of the contact, exactly as the system is designed to do for incidents of this nature. And after that review, for reasons that FIFA has yet to explain with any real clarity, Marciniak's original decision stood. No upgrade, no card. The challenge that broadcast commentators were already calling a clear red card in real time was waved through by the very technology that FIFA has spent years and billions of dollars promoting as the solution to exactly this kind of controversy. 17 minutes later, Messi opened the scoring with a trademark strike from outside the box. By the final whistle, he had completed his hat trick, and Argentina had cruised to a 3-0 victory that announced their World Cup defense in the most emphatic way imaginable. But the post-match conversation did not belong to the football. It belonged to the foul. Former Manchester City defender Nedum Onuaha, working as a pundit on American broadcast coverage, did not hedge his opinion. He said directly that approaching the incident with consistency, it should have been a red card. His colleague on the same broadcast, former Venezuela international Alejandro Moreno, went even further. He called it 100% a red card, and he specifically questioned why the video assistant referee never asked the main official to even look at the replay on the pitch side monitor. Not a soft suggestion that the call was harsh, a direct statement that the system failed to do the one job it exists to do. And the reaction from the football world beyond the broadcast booth was just as immediate. Subscribe to the channel if you are finding this breakdown valuable, because the voices weighing in on this incident go far beyond a couple of pundits on American television. This became a genuinely global conversation within hours. Former Algerian international striker Islam Slimani said publicly that he was stunned by what he saw, arguing that any other player in that exact situation would almost certainly have been punished far more severely. That sentence, coming from a man who played at the highest level of European football for over a decade and who understands referee decision-making as well as anyone, carries real weight. Former Egyptian international Mohamed Aboutrika voiced similar concerns live on television, openly questioning the referee's judgment in a discussion watched across the Arab world. This was not a fringe complaint limited to outraged social media accounts. This was former elite players, people who have stood on football's biggest stages themselves, looking at the same footage and arriving at the same uncomfortable conclusion. And then there was the reaction from ordinary supporters, which spread across social media with a speed and intensity that genuinely surprised even seasoned observers of football controversy. One widely shared comment summed the mood with brutal simplicity. Messi escaping a red card. No VAR review? Just give Argentina the trophy now. It was meant as dark sarcasm, but underneath the sarcasm was a genuine and growing anxiety about whether this tournament's biggest stars are operating under a different set of rules than everyone else on the pitch. That anxiety did not appear out of nowhere. It has context, and the context makes tonight's incident land with far more force than it otherwise would have. Months before this tournament began, Cristiano Ronaldo received a red card during a World Cup qualifying match for a violent elbow on an opposing defender. Under FIFA's own disciplinary code, the offense carried a mandatory minimum 3-match suspension. FIFA's disciplinary committee reduced that punishment to a single match, suspending the remaining 2 matches under a probationary period, citing his previously clean international disciplinary record as justification. Multiple national federations explored legal challenges to the ruling. Analysts across the sport openly accused FIFA of protecting its most commercially valuable player from the consequences that any other footballer would have faced for the exact same offense. That decision did not happen in isolation. It set a precedent. It told the footballing world in the clearest possible terms exactly how this tournament's governing body is prepared to treat its biggest global stars when the rules and the brand collide. Tonight, in Kansas City, that precedent met its first real test on the pitch itself, in real time, with the cameras rolling and the VAR system standing by, and the outcome looked remarkably familiar. To be fair to the officials, there is a layer of genuine complexity here that deserves acknowledgement. Some incidents that looked devastating on a slow-motion replay from one specific angle look considerably less severe from another. Force, intent, and the precise point of contact all matter enormously in these decisions, and reasonable football people can watch the same footage and reach different conclusions about where exactly this challenge sat on the spectrum between a reckless foul and a sending-off offense. Officiating a World Cup at the highest level is an extraordinarily difficult job, and Marciniak has earned his reputation as one of the most respected referees in the world through a long career of high-profile decisions made correctly under enormous pressure. But that is precisely why the explanation matters so much here, and why its absence is so damaging. When the VAR specifically reviews an incident and chooses not to recommend a card, the football world deserves clarity about the reasoning, not vague statements about insufficient force, not silence. A genuine explanation of exactly what standard was applied and why this specific challenge did not meet it. That explanation has not arrived with anything like the urgency this controversy demands, and its absence allows the worst possible interpretation to fill the void. And the worst possible interpretation, in a tournament that has already faced accusations of bending its own disciplinary rules for its most famous players, is exactly the one that is currently spreading across every football conversation on the planet. Algeria's manager and players, to their enormous credit, have not turned this into an excuse for the result. Issa Mandi himself, in his post-match comments, focused not on the missed card, but on Messi's brilliance, calling him perhaps the best player of all time, and acknowledging that Algeria knew exactly what they were facing and simply could not contain him. That kind of sportsmanship deserves recognition. It would have been easy for Algeria to make tonight entirely about the officiating. They largely chose not to. But the players' graciousness does not erase the question. It simply means the question is now being asked by everyone else on their behalf. This tournament promised the world consistency. It promised that the most advanced officiating technology in the history of the sport would eliminate exactly this kind of controversy. It promised that no player, regardless of their fame or their commercial value to the competition, would receive treatment different from any other professional on the pitch. Tonight, in front of a global audience watching the defending champions begin their title defense, that promise was tested in the most public way possible. And right now, the honest answer is that nobody outside FIFA's own offices can say with confidence that the promise was kept. Messi will wake up tomorrow as the story of the night, for all the right reasons. A hat-trick, a shared scoring record, a victory that announces Argentina as serious contenders once again. That achievement is real, and it deserves to be celebrated without an asterisk attached to his name. But football also has a long memory for moments like this one, and the question that Algeria's players, Algeria's fans, and millions of neutral observers around the world are asking tonight is not going away simply because the scoreline says 3-0.